noite, está começando mais uma edição do Notícias MTV, com muito prazer aqui recebendo ele, uma honra, a lenda do punk Marky Ramone. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
It's always a pleasure to be here. I've come here often and it's always fun.
How many times so far have you been to Brazil?
15.
15, so you got friends? Or...
Friends, fans, and I've kept in touch with them over the years. Yeah. It's always a pleasure to be here, to see them.
Do you have a favorite spots, favorite drinks, kinds of food?
Well, I don't drink. I wish I could, but I can't. I like the meat, the steaks here. And,
like churrasco?
Well, you know, when they come around and they cut the meat.
Churrasco.
It's great, great. The girls are beautiful.
Yeah.
And the guys definitely know how to rock here. You know, they know all about their rock and their punk rock. And I always look forward to coming here.
You are a living legend of the punk, so you're kind of a pop icon, right? So you have your spaghetti sauce. Is that true? Yeah. Yeah. Who developed that?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
What happened, it's creative. And I believe that anything you do when you're doing that, it's creative. It's a good thing. My grandfather used to be a chef when he was alive, and he worked at the Copacabana in New York City. He would cook for James Cagney. He would cook for a lot of gangsters. He would cook for Betty Davis. His specialty was his own stuff. You know, I mean, he could make Italian food, but when we would go over to his house, my parents and I, he'd cook for us. So I would watch him. Yeah. I saw what he would make in a pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce. So I was approached to do it. So I put in my own ingredients, and that's what it is. Marky Ramone's Brooklyn's own pasta sauce. I never knew I'd be doing it, and it's a joy because a lot of people like it.
When you're cooking, do you need a whole concentration on that, or listen to music?
No. I don't cook often, but when I do, and I do make that, I'm into it. I don't listen to music. I'm into making it the best I can make it.
Yeah. What about the fashion clothes? You have a collection of Tommy Hilfiger, right?
Well, Tommy Hilfiger's a friend, and he approached me to do a leather jacket and jeans.
Yeah.
So I went back to my first album cover of a band I was in called Dust, and I took it from there. I didn't take it, but I looked at it and made it a little more advanced for today's times, because that jacket was basically a Ramones jacket, a Perfecto, but that album came out 5 years before the first Ramones album. So if you're looking back of the first Dust album I'm on, you could see already that I'm one of the Ramones at that point. Yeah. They used to see my band before there was the Ramones in New York in the clubs. That's how I became friends with them, with Dee Dee especially. So later on, that's why they asked me to play the drums for them, because they remembered my playing. And that's where the fashion came from, was from that album. And Tommy Hilfiger made a capsule collection, and that was it. You know, I'm a musician, drummer. So you have your spaghetti sauce, your clothing line, but I want to just be known as the drummer. But I like the other things too, because they are creative. You make them, you use your mind, and you're making something, and it's constructive. Yeah.
Well, you have a very peculiar way of playing, peculiar style of playing the drums. How did you develop that?
Ringo from the Beatles. When I was 8 years old, my mother said, "Come to the TV and look at these guys," and I loved them. They had a great image, great songs. They're the biggest group of all time. And I liked the way some of the things Tommy did in the beginning of the Ramones, and I just put them two together and I added a little more, and that's what it is. It's basically Ringo from the Beatles playing fast.
Yeah, so you're writing a book about the punk scene, is that right?
I'm writing a book about my time in CBGB's, my friendships with Johnny Thunders and Sid Vicious, Richard Hell, Dee Dee Ramone, the other Ramones, Debbie Harry, and all these people that I knew and still know from the punk scene in New York City. But it's before that too, when I was a child, all the way up to when I started playing the drums, and then doing my first album when I was 15 and a half years old. I was still in high school, and we couldn't play live that much because you needed your parents to come with you, because I was too young to enter a place that served alcohol. So my parents had to come, and it was a little strange, you know. So, but the two Dust albums, and the band Dust was considered one of the first heavy metal bands in America. So it was a lot of history.
Yeah. So you're writing that by yourself? Did somebody helping you?
I'm writing it myself, but there's always a proofreader in any book. You know, there's always somebody who will try to make the book sound like you.
Yeah.
You know, I come from Brooklyn, New York, and I have a Brooklyn accent. So sometimes my words might be different than other people's words. So the proofreader has to make it a little more understandable.
And when are you going to release the book?
This year.
Oh, this year?
I'm sorry, 2011.
All right, the very beginning of it.
Well, hopefully.
Ok.
I'm not in a rush.
Yeah. Well, daqui a pouco a gente volta. Muito boa entrevista aqui conversando com ele, Marky Ramone. Não saia daí.